I wish that him instead of Takeoff. He was at this early.
Jay Prince Sr. completely lost composure, and it all seemed to begin the moment his own son, Jay Prince Jr., was reportedly linked to the Takeoff murder case. The man known for decades of power and control suddenly appeared shaken. In that emotional moment, Jay Prince Sr. made a statement about that night in Houston, a statement that people are now using to question everything. That night changed everything. Takeoff, whose real name was Kirshnik Karibal, was just 28 years old. He was one-third of the hip-hop trio Migos, alongside his uncle Quavo and cousin Offset. Born on June 18, 1994, in Lawrenceville, Georgia, Takeoff helped form Migos in 2008. The group rose to national fame in 2013 with their viral hit Versace, and later topped the Billboard 200 with their 2017 album Culture. Within the industry, Takeoff was widely respected as the most technically skilled member of the group, often quiet, but essential to their sound. Just weeks before his death, he and Quavo released their collaborative project, only built for Infinity Links, on October 7, 2022. Then, on November 1, 2022, tragedy struck. Takeoff was shot and killed in downtown Houston. The shooting occurred outside 810 Billiards and Bowling, located on San Jacinto Street in the Green Street district. Earlier that night, a private after-party had taken place inside the venue. The event was hosted by Jay Prince Jr., son of Rap-A-Lot Records founder Jay Prince Sr. Around 40 people attended. Takeoff and Quavo were among the guests. They were in Houston to support Jazz Prince, who was being honored with a special Jazz Prince Day by the city. Quavo, who was close to Jazz, had come to celebrate with him. What started as a night of celebration quickly turned into tragedy. Around 1 a.m., the party began to wind down, and guests moved outside to a third-floor balcony area. A dice game was taking place when an argument broke out. Between approximately 2:30 and 2:40 a.m., multiple shots were fired. Security at the venue heard the gunfire, but did not see the shooter. Videos of the aftermath quickly spread online. A nearby nurse rushed to the scene to help, but it was already too late. Takeoff had been shot. Authorities later confirmed that he was not involved in the argument or the dice game. He was described as an innocent bystander. He died at the scene from multiple gunshot wounds to the head and torso. His death was officially ruled a homicide. Two other individuals, a 24-year-old man and a 23-year-old woman, were injured, but their wounds were not life-threatening. Quavo was unharmed. Houston Police Chief Troy Finner addressed the public later that day, stating there was no evidence that Takeoff was involved in any criminal activity. He urged witnesses to come forward and called on the hip-hop community to reflect in the wake of the tragedy. Meanwhile, the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission launched an investigation into the venue's liquor license. Reports indicated that Quavo had stepped away moments before the shooting, only to soon realize that his nephew was gone. The event was hosted by Jay Prince Jr. The victim was Takeoff, and the shadow of responsibility quickly fell on Jay Prince Sr. From that moment on, every public statement made by Jay Prince Sr. was closely analyzed, not just as grief, but as a possible defense. Later, on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, members of the Prince family sat down to share their version of what happened that night. Mike Prince, who was present during the shooting, began by describing the atmosphere before everything went wrong.
When the situation escalated, it really wasn't that.
Mike explained that the night had been calm. People were relaxed, talking, joking, and even discussing basketball. It wasn't the kind of environment where anyone would expect gunfire.
A beautiful night, you know what I'm saying? We all family were enjoying. Everybody kicking it, you know what I'm saying?
But then, everything shifted. What started as a simple conversation suddenly turned into a confrontation. Later, Jay Prince Sr. placed the blame on one individual, an associate of Quavo, who, according to Prince family, struck someone during a dispute over basketball. In that moment, a minor disagreement escalated into something far more serious. That single decision set off a chain reaction, one that would ultimately end with Takeoff lying lifeless on the ground outside a bowling alley.
First thing to me is this clown that came here. I wish he would have never came, with Quavo.
Jay Prince Sr. did not hold back. He openly stated that the associate, later identified in police reports as Willie Bland, was the root cause of the entire tragedy. According to him, that single individual's actions set everything in motion, ultimately leading to the devastating outcome that night.
Never brought me in the Houston. Can't think.
And then he said something that brought the entire room to a standstill. In that moment, everything went silent. The kind of silence that signals something serious is about to be revealed.
Wish that, Takeoff. He was at this early.
That moment captured the full weight of Jay. Prince Sr.'s emotions, his grief, his anger, not directed at his own family, but the man he believed lit the fuse on a chain of events that took the life of someone he cared about. In his eyes, that night was never supposed to end this way. His son hosted a party. Guests came to celebrate. But one man's decision, a single swing during a heated dice game, transformed a gathering of around 40 people into a homicide investigation. An investigation that would stretch on for years and place the Prince family under the most intense scrutiny they had ever faced. But before speculation and conspiracy theories could take over, law enforcement had one clear priority: find the shooter. Magnifying glass still to the left the investigation. In the immediate aftermath, Houston police moved quickly to reconstruct what happened. The case relied heavily on surveillance footage from multiple downtown cameras, capturing the sequence of events from several angles. Detectives also gathered critical forensic evidence, including a wine bottle left at the scene, fingerprints recovered from it, phone records, and license plate data from a vehicle seen leaving the area shortly after shooting. Oncoming police car, first arrest. On November 22nd, 2022, the first arrest connected to the case was made. 22-year-old Cameron Joshua, also known as Lil Cam Fifth, was taken into custody and charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Surveillance footage and witness accounts placed him at the party with a firearm. However, authorities made it clear he was not believed to be the shooter. His attorney also maintained that Joshua did not fire any shots. Balance scaled a murder charge. Then came the arrest that made national headlines. On December 1st, 2022, 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark was arrested and charged with murder. He was taken into custody during a traffic stop on Houston's east side. Prosecutors described him as a potential flight risk. He had reportedly applied for an expedited passport, with plans to travel to Mexico, and was found carrying a significant amount of cash. According to court documents, surveillance footage showed Clark firing a weapon toward a group of people while holding a wine bottle in his other hand. That same bottle, left behind at the scene, became a key piece of evidence. Fingerprints, vehicle data, and other forensic findings allegedly linked him directly to the shooting. Warning: a critical detail. Authorities consistently emphasize one key point. Takeoff was not the intended target. He had no involvement in the argument or the dice game that escalated into violence. A dope balance scale legal battle. Clark's bond was initially set at $2 million. On January 5th, 2023, he posted a $1 million bond and was released under strict conditions, including surrendering his passport and wearing a GPS ankle monitor. His legal team has consistently maintained his innocence, with some reports referencing a possible self-defense argument amid the chaos of the shooting. On May 25th, 2023, a Harris County grand jury formally indicted Clark on a murder charge, one that carries a potential sentence of 25 years to life if convicted. The legal process stretched over years, with multiple delays. A key hearing originally scheduled for late 2025 was pushed into early 2026. As of early 2026, jury selection is set to begin on November 5th, with the trial expected to start on November 9th. No plea deal has been reached. Dove aftermath and legacy. While the legal battle continued, Takeoff's family, friends, and fans came together to honor his life. A private memorial was held on November 10th, 2022, followed by a public celebration of life at State Farm Arena in Atlanta the next day. The event featured emotional tributes and performances from Offset, Quavo, Cardi B, Drake, and many others. He was laid to rest in Georgia. His death sent shockwaves throughout the music industry, sparking renewed conversations around gun violence and hip-hop. In the wake of the tragedy, Quavo became an advocate against gun violence, warning a complication emerges. In 2024, a new complication surfaced. A former forensic analyst connected to cases in Harris County came under investigation for issues related to evidence handling. This led to Brady notices being issued in hundreds of cases. While the direct impact on this case remained uncertain, it added another layer of complexity to an already lengthy and high-profile legal battle. Studio microphone back to Jay Prince Sr. Back on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, Jay Prince Sr. made his stance clear. He placed the blame squarely on Willie Bland, the associate of Quavo he believed was responsible for triggering the entire situation. According to the Prince family, Bland's version of events, as reflected in police reports, was filled with inconsistencies. And in their view, that's where the truth of that night becomes blurred and where the real questions begin.
And this dude is the root of it.
Jay Prince Sr. then went further, carefully breaking down the police report in detail. He began reading directly from Willie Bland's own statements, laying them out piece by piece of the room, as if building his case in real time.
He's seeing these two guys with guns early. These the same two guys that he decided he would.
The implication was clear. If Bland saw armed individuals and still chose to strike one of them, then the violence that followed was not random. It was a foreseeable consequence of his actions. And the person who ultimately paid the price was Takeoff. Jay Prince Sr. didn't stop there. Reading directly from the police report during the podcast, he pointed out that Bland himself had stated he obtained a firearm from Jazz Prince, who had provided it to ensure Quavo's group had protection while they were in Houston. From the Prince family's perspective, the logic was simple. Why would someone be given protection, only to then create a situation that put everyone at risk? As Jay Prince Sr. presented it, the police report painted Bland as the instigator, someone whose reckless decisions escalated a calm night into a deadly scene. Then he made an analogy that stuck. If two men rob a bank, and during the police response an innocent bystander is killed, the responsibility doesn't fall on the bystander. It falls on the men who set the chain of events in motion. And in his view, that same logic applied to what happened that night.